we're here, episode 77, on a fine Tuesday afternoon in the boys' studio.
The original day we recorded was on a Tuesday. We used to do them on Tuesdays.
Oh, we're back again for the first time. The 77th time.
77th time around this little rock we call Boys Podcast.
And we're going to get right to the show, but first we have just a little business to take care of.
A little biz. Taking care of. That's got to be embedded every time we do this.
Every time we do the plugs.
Taking care of business.
Before we take care of business, I must say that might be one of the worst songs of all time.
Bachman Turner Overdrive, dude.
BTO, taking care of business. TCB, BTO. Love it. I love three-letter acronyms. Love it. Most of them. But yeah, taking care of business. What a great.
Why don't you take care of a little business right now, Robbie?
Yeah, fuck it. boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. There you will find links to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Boys Podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever you get your iPods. Please rate, review, subscribe. iPods?
Wherever. You can find Boys Podcast.
Best Buy, Circuit City, Fry's Electronics.
Do they even sell iPods anymore?
No.
I was going to say, you can find Boys Podcast at any cut rate pawn shop on 23rd Street.
You can find Boys Podcast on any Craigslist creep post.
And you know what? You can email us. Get this. Go down to the pawn shop, get you one of them $200 laptops.
Get you an Acer laptop.
And email us, boys@boyspodcast.com. Here's the deal. You send us a little bit of feedback, reviews, rates, criticism, comments, concerns.
Dick pics. All of it.
I don't swing that way.
I see what you did there. Because a dick swings if it's big enough.
You send us feedback, put your physical address in the email. We'll send out some stickers. We've done quite a few so far.
Yeah.
It's been quite surprising.
You get a little something in the snail mail, as they call it.
That's right. And thank you to the guys and gals who have written in. Means the world to us.
Means the world to me. Slap those stickers up, too.
Slap them up. What good's a sticker?
If you ain't going to slap it up.
In that old country song, what good's a sticker if it hadn't been stuck on the back of my truck in the boggy bottom? I'm working on it. We'll get to that later.
I like that. Hold on. Sidebar. When I first met Diana, like, you ever do that thing? You do that thing when you first meet somebody and you kind of go through, like, everyone has their own little boxes of stuff you kind of keep somewhere, like nostalgia memento, whatever. You ever, like, do other things with that significant other and then go through each other's nostalgia boxes?
Never went through each other's, but I do pull out mine every now and then.
So she had, like, a shoebox full of stickers, unused. And I looked at her like, these are really cool stickers. I was like, why'd you never put them up? She goes, because of this. Because now I have these really cool stickers.
There is some truth to that. But what good's a sticker if it's never been stuck on the back of a truck in the boggy bottom? We're getting there. We need to whip out the old 6-string. We'll make that real nice.
Thanks to our sponsors, Anthem Brewing.
I'm having an Anthem Brewing right now. It's a delicious Arjuna. And boy, does it taste sweet. You know what? So sweet, I'm going to kiss the can.
I was about to say, you better kiss that can. I'm having an Anthem IPA, a delicious beer. It's still my favorite. Still my fucking favorite.
Anthem Brewing. Still my fucking favorite.
AnthemBrewing.com. Check them out. Fat Bison. FatBison.com. Need we say more? Yes, we should say more. Great wood. Great prices. Great dude.
That's enough.
OKC Comedy. They'll make your dick laugh. Or your vagina.
Depending on the show. Now, speaking of shows, they have a show on the 27th. I believe it's the day this comes out. There's a lot going on the day this show comes out. It's a beautiful Friday.
Right now, you're probably just waiting for that clock. Waiting till that 5 o'clock rolls around.
You might be driving to work.
Yeah.
You might be waiting in an elevator.
You know what? You might have the day off today. If so,
you got some options tonight.
You got some options.
October 27th tonight, they're bringing in Hacksaw Jim Duggan, WWF superstar. One of your options for the night is to go check that out. So learn more at OKCComedy.com. They have new merchandise on their website. Good dudes, bringing the chuckles.
Bring in the chuckles. OKC Comedy.
And lastly, thank you for the donations. We got people like Zach. We got people like Shay. We got people like Greg. We got people like Mike. We got people like Joe. We got people like Sam. We have people like Pete. We have people like Horatio. We have people like Mike. We have people like Dana.
We
have people like Adam.
A different Mike.
We have people like Chris. We have people like Sam. We have people like Joe. We have all these people that are giving us the listens. the likes, the donations, tweets, and comments.
All
it
that.
means the fucking world to us. Let me go off on a tangent here for a second, okay? We don't care about getting money. Sure, it's nice.
Yeah.
Send us a donation if you please. But if you don't, just listen. Tell a friend. This is a labor of love that Josh and I do week after week after week after week after week after week. I'm going to do that 76 times. So just tell a friend. Help us spread the word.
Yeah.
We like to be heard.
Yeah, spread the gospel of boys.
Absolutely. We also have brand new t-shirts. No. They're not t-shirts.
They're sweatshirts.
We just launched some brand new sweatshirts. If you looked on our Instagram, you can see the design. We're asking $25. Now, I know that's a lot of money. However, you get a high-quality sweatshirt with a beautiful logo co-designed by our good friend Colin Butler. Thank you, Colin, for helping us out with that. You get a nice sweatshirt for the coming fall and winter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it'll keep you warm on the inside and out.
I'll tell you this much right now. It's a comfy fucking sweater.
You wore it?
I tossed one on.
You tossed it on.
I tossed one on. I wanted to get the feel. What's it feel like?
Yeah.
It feels great.
It's a good design. Take a look at our Instagram again. It's just Boys Podcast. Give us a follow, like, tell a friend. Would mean the world to us.
It'd mean the world to us. Well, got another thing going on today.
Tell me about it.
It's called WizardCon. Wizard World Comic Con is this weekend today, which would be October 27th through the 29th, which would be Sunday at the Cox Convention Center. Kids 10 and under are free. I know a lot of us have some kids, not me, but some people have kids.
That you know about.
That I know about. They're free. I think you can still get tickets through wizardworld.com. Offer code OKC20. Get 20% off them tickets. Congratulations to the winner who won tickets through Boys Podcast.
That was a sweet young lady by the name of Molly Williams. Thank you, Molly. Tickets are waiting for you. You know how to get them. I've already commented. I've already contacted Miss Williams.
Yeah.
And she's hooked up. So thank you all for entering that. That was super fun. And we'll do some more giveaways. Think we should probably give away a sweatshirt.
I think we should too.
Now, they're very rare, very limited. Dare I say, mildly sought after.
I'm going to throw it on right now. You can agree with me? We're going to have to strike while the iron's hot because this is coming out Halloween party weekend.
Oh, shit.
Let's do this. Let's do a Boys Podcast Instagram costume contest.
Oh, shit.
If you tag boys and take a picture of your costume.
Any stoom will do.
Any costume. The best picture who's tagged us will win a boy sweatshirt.
Damn. All right, man. That's a good one. I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. So what do they just tag us like at Boys Podcast?
Yeah, like at Boys Podcast in the picture.
All right. Bonus points if you dress up like Josh or I. Which, okay, let's think about this for a moment.
A costume.
Let's do it for each other, okay? Because I think that'd be easier.
Sure.
If I had to put together a costume that was a Josh Montgomery in a bag,
yeah.
All right, what would be in that bag? Okay, I'm going to start from the head down. We're going beanie.
Yeah.
We're going beanie. You're a man of many hats.
I'm a hatman.
You've worn many, many hats over the years.
The CSS.
And fedora, derby, baseball cap, trucker hat.
I'll do a trucker every now and then.
You do a reverse trucker.
A backwards trucker.
Backwards trucker with the bent up bill.
There you go.
All right. That's man, my dad always said I should have been a country singer, and we'll get to that later, but I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I don't know if I want to ever play live music again unless it's chill. What's more chill than country music?
Nothing. You know what you can do? You don't have to play shows. You can just sit in your room and just record tracks.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come out with one of them classic country cover albums pretty soon.
Just do Americana. Everybody else is.
Yeah. It's the good thing to do right now. The good thing? The cool thing?
It's the good thing to do.
Okay, so this costume.
Okay.
Let's get back to the
beanie.
costume. Cowboy hat.
No.
10-gallon hat.
10 gal.
The Arby's hat.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so we got beanie up top.
Yeah.
Got some gauged ears. Yeah. For sure.
It would be like on Portlandia. How he's got those fake gauged ears. It'll be that.
Yeah, some stick-on lobes.
Stick-on lobes.
Okay, we're going to go black t-shirt of some kind, usually with a white, bold band design on the front.
Sure.
Right?
We'll do that.
We got some tight jeans.
Yeah.
Some tight jeans, black, dark blue. Never like the grandpa, like cornflower blue.
No, cornflower blue?
You know those blue?
That's a good color.
You know those blue jeans I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're like cowboy blue. And I'm not talking dark Wrangler.
Like they're almost sky blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a pale It's like a pale blue.
with a perfect crease.
Oh, gotta have the crease.
Gotta have that crease.
Nut huggers.
Nut huggers.
I always thought, sometimes there's words that you hear that just take you back to it being a child.
Yeah.
Or take you back to your adolescent mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the term nut huggers is one of those words to me.
First time I heard it was, I think, 6th grade going into junior high. And I overheard some kids talking about, in junior high, I'm gonna start wearing like cowboy jeans. I'm gonna start wearing nut huggers. And I was like, what? Tight jeans, nut huggers.
Well, you wear nut huggers.
Yeah, but I kind of hang them a little low. So they're more of like...
Your nuts?
I hang my nuts low.
I've stretched my nuts.
What I do is I tie some dental floss around it, and then I put it on my big toe, the other end of my big toe. So when I walk, it gives it a little tug.
Do you stretch it out at night and flick it like a bass string? Like boom, 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 boom. Anyways, yeah, I think that would be the costume.
Okay.
You top it off or bottom it off with some All-Stars. Yeah.
Got to.
All right. So, okay. That's my Josh in a bag.
And the classic Timex watch that never comes off.
It's a timeless Timex, if I dare say
Timeless
so myself.
Timex. Robbie in a bag? It depends what era. Current Robbie?
Just, man.
Robbie in a bag.
I don't know.
Let's go top down. Beanie as well.
I do wear a beanie pretty often.
Beanie or a shaggy long wig.
Okay.
It's got to come with some facial hair.
Okay.
Like high quality. None of this.
High quality facial hair.
Yeah. Like,
Will you say that at my funeral? Will you be like,
he had high quality facial hair.
Rob's my oldest friend. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Always had high quality facial hair.
Indeed. I'm going to go this era of Rob, which might have a comeback. It's going to be the button-down shirt all over print with like pineapples or something on it.
All right.
Remember you went through that for a little bit?
I did. I went through a fruit phase.
A fruit phase. And a pair of not skinny fit.
Okay.
Not loose. Maybe relaxed. A pair of relaxed fit denim. But not dad. I don't know what I mean. It's not skinny. What do they call the other one?
Slim?
Slim.
Okay.
Pair of 517s.
Oh, God, no.
514s.
No.
What do you wear?
Strictly 5'11s.
Are you 5'11", man?
I am.
That's skinny fit, though.
Yeah, they're not that skinny on me.
Anywho, that
talking about jeans.
A pair of Doc Martens.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I throw Docs in there.
All right.
Or Dad Nikes.
Recently, it would be the Dad Nike.
You've been a fan of them Nikes.
The best shoe investment I've made in a long time.
Well, that brings up a thought of who you are now, like the phases of you, but you never see it as different phases. You just see it as this just has been me forever.
Yeah.
No. I went through a phase where I wore eyeliner and black nail polish and ties and creepers.
Yeah.
I don't know why did I do that? But it was me for a few months.
Just a phase.
Just a phase.
Yeah.
We always have. Everyone has a weird phase.
I've been through a lot of phases, but I feel like I've always kind of just been me slightly in that phase. Like I've never went full in on anything.
Yeah.
Like I never had a mohawk. You know?
No, but you had the Meeks hair.
Well,
I think that was your mohawk.
Explain Meeks hair for our listener.
There's a band in the 90s called Cold Chamber, and they had a guitar player named Meeks Rascoon.
I believe so.
And he had this. It was shaved hair, but the bangs are in the front, long, probably chin length.
Yeah.
Pulled, parted down the middle.
And what color were those bangs?
Purple?
Yeah, something like that.
Purplish,
Purple,
reddish.
maroon.
Yeah, maroon. Yeah. And then you wear, a fishnet sleeve underneath a t-shirt.
Beneath the shirt.
Beneath the shirt.
Beneath the large rockabilia tee.
Yeah. Name a band.
Cold Chamber. I wore that shirt all the time. Not only did I want hair like Meeks Rascoon, but I also wore a Cold Chamber t-shirt just all the time.
Just so people would be like, oh, that's the connection. Yeah. I see it now.
Oh, like it isn't obvious enough. He's wearing the fucking band like a walking billboard.
Yeah.
What a dickhead I was.
Yeah. Like me wearing mechanic shirts with ties and dicky pants.
And you like smeared oil all over your hands and arms.
No, I'm talking like doing the 1995 Billy Joe, but I'd wear a Green Day shirt. Like, no, I get it. I get what you're trying to do.
Not so good.
No. Or when I did a mini Meeks.
Mini Meeks?
Yeah, where like I had my head shaved, but I had the bangs, but I spiked it up in the front.
The front fro spike is what we called it.
The front fro spike, but I had sideburns and then a goatee. Why?
Speaking of phases, there's a picture of you
Mm-hmm.
that I have where you have, I believe it's a classic front spike.
And I have like a million necklaces on.
One of which is a Jesus fish.
Mm-hmm.
Two of which it's like an enamel pin, but on a necklace. It's like that style.
Yeah, one was Chucky from Rugrats.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Where did you get that?
The quarter machines.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that was cool? Like when you slide that quarter in that slot, twist the knob, you heard the rattling of the plastic thing coming down. Do you think it was cool?
I remember that day vividly. I put the quarter. I wanted the Chuck because it shows you what's in there. I was like, I want that Chucky one. Got it. Came out like it's fate. I'm gonna put this little shitty quote leather necklace with a little Chucky pendant on it.
You rocked that.
I
Chucky.
also rocked quarter machine, those giant plastic rings.
Oof.
I'd wear those too. It was trash punk. It was Choctaw trash punk.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those days just wearing trash. We've talked about
Yeah,
this.
just wearing garbage.
Wearing garbage.
Yeah, like putting used guitar strings and making bracelets and necklaces out of them.
Or the pop bottle top around the necklace.
That's just trashy.
So cool. We've all been through phases.
Sure.
I feel like in the last, 5-7 years, I don't think I've really changed much. I mean, I usually grow my hair out, then I get tired of it and I cut it off. But that's not really like a fashion thing.
No, I think it's. I think I've said it before. I think when you hit 30, it really is that you hit your dad phase, regardless of whether you have a kid or not. Like you're set in your ways. That's what it is. Like my dad wore the same thing all the time, but it wasn't. He didn't wear the exact same clothes, but he had 5 of each thing, and I'm just gonna wear this kind of shirt with this kind of pant and these shoes.
He had 5 of everything.
But I just need one.
I don't think I'm a dad, but I think, that's in my own mind.
No, mine is this. I'm wearing a black t-shirt, black pants, and black shoes. I'm probably going to be rocking this forever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to, you won't see me in 5 years going, you know what? I think I'm going to start wearing like plaid pants. Or start wearing something different. This is it.
Well, I look in the mirror and I still see my 25-year-old self, my 23-year-old self. I mean, there are times where I look at myself and I'm like, all right, I'm getting older, but I don't have like wrinkles, I don't know. Like I haven't gained a ton of weight. I mean, I'm a little bigger than I was in like high school, but
would you say internally though, like do you feel,
well, that's where the problems begin.
Well, no, I mean, do you feel like I don't want to say the word soul, but do you feel like there's a part of you that's just inside the vessel? Like you're a Pacific Rim machine, and there's the part that's in you that you still feel like you're 20 whatever, but you age. Like I've heard that from like older people like in their like 80s talk about this. Like I don't feel like I'm an 80-year-old man, but I look in the mirror and I'm obviously an 80-year-old man. I look next to me and there's an 80-year-old woman. I still find young women attractive. Like I find 20, 30-year-old women attractive because I still feel like I'm a young man, but I'm not a young man anymore.
Well, that's interesting. I've never really thought of it, but it's kind of like driving a car.
Mm-hmm.
You put your foot on the gas in an old car and it still goes down the road. Still starts up every time.
Sure.
But you can see the wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start replacing stuff, fixing stuff, See the rip in the interior.
Yeah.
See the little rust on the bottom.
It'll go.
It's weird. I don't feel 36 years old. Like, I don't feel like I've been on the earth for 36 years. Yeah. Now, my thing is like, I don't feel like bad, but I definitely feel a little more like tired. Like I sleep more than I used to. I feel the wear and tear, but I've never been in a major crash. If that makes sense.
Sure. It's got some miles, but it's been well maintained. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
not so well, but
like getting
relatively speaking.
Like you can go pick up a nice 2003 Honda Accord.
Nice choice.
It could have some miles on it, but if someone's kept that in good condition, I mean, you got yourself a really dependable car. That thing can go for another 100,000 miles. But you can also buy yourself a, 1992 Geo Prism that has 4 different tires on it that 2 of them might be bald. It might have some issues. Radio works. But that's about it.
It just has a radio.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Doesn't even have an aux cord.
No AC. We got to roll the windows down.
Yeah. So before we started tonight, you said you wanted to bring something up.
Oh, a word.
Okay. So set the table here for me.
It actually just popped into my head. Actually, I was about to say it. I can't remember what you were going to say. And I was about to say the word panties. And I realized I've never had a problem with that word before. But now, it's talking about getting older and having phases and changes. I find that word kind of disgusting.
Panties?
Yeah.
I think when you put the hard T in the middle.
Yeah.
Like panties?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you left a pair of panties in the dryer.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound so bad.
No, but when you put it, I think it's in context. I was watching the show Mindhunter last night, and the character was interviewing the serial killer / rapist, and they wanted to get inside his mind, and he talked them through one of his victims. So he was talking about how it went down, and he's like, so I tore off her panties, and I was like, it's just hearing that like made me feel disgusted, and it might have been because of the context that it was, an aggressive situation. But then I kept saying it back to myself. I'm like, no, it's just a gross word.
It is a gross word.
But I think that's on the list of gross. When you hear people talk about words that, what do they say? Gag them out or whatever. Skeeve me out. Panties is always one. Moist is a big one.
Moist is disgusting.
I love the word moist. But if you put moist panties.
But if you say moist cake.
Yeah.
Like if I'm eating a piece of cake out of a styrofoam bowl with a plastic fork, and you do that
you
thing.
At an office party?
You do. Yeah. I'm at work. Yeah. You do that thing. Why do you always do this thing? So imagine yourself eating a nice big slice of birthday cake. All right? It's white cake, like a sheet cake.
It's a terrible cake.
I like sheet cake. Oh, I like shitty things. I do.
Okay.
I am not a finer things man.
I'm not a finer things. I'm a cookie. I am a chocolate chip cookie cake guy.
I'm a soft batch kid. I am a fucking Oreo boy.
Yeah.
I love the middle.
Yeah.
I don't need the best. I just need it to be better than shitty. That's it. Same with the beer I drink. Same with the car I drive. Same with any interest I'm into. I don't get the best. I just get something not shitty.
Dude, your first country app has to be called Better Than Shitty.
That is genius. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this. A little tease, if you will.
Yeah.
But I'm into the comedy music.
Yeah.
I love Tenacious D.
Yeah.
I love the darkness.
Yeah.
I love anything that has a little bit of fun to it.
I'm really upset that I missed Wheeler Walker Jr. the other night. That would have been a lot of fun.
I introduced my dad to Wheeler Walker Jr. this weekend.
And your dad loves it.
Oh my God. He thought it was the funniest shit.
Yeah.
He has a song called Eating Pussy and Kicking Ass.
Yeah. Oh, I bet your dad loved that one.
Dude, he flipped his lid. It was amazing. And we'll get to my story later. But that was part of the weekend, was introducing him to Wheeler Walker Jr. Got me to thinking, got me to drinking. So yeah, we'll get to that. Now, you're eating your cake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I want to get back to this bowl cake. I know what you're talking about too, like the shitty style. You can't really put
cereal in one of those bowls. You'll spill it everywhere.
Anything that needs to go into a bowl, you can't put in a styrofoam bowl.
It's a deep plate.
It's a deep plate.
It's a deep saucer.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, it's a shallow bowl.
You can put like literally a handful of chips. You might as well just carry those chips with you.
No, you might as well put a paper towel in your hand and make a hand bowl. You ever do that? Make a hand bowl?
Yeah, a hand bowl.
Yeah. So you're eating the cake. You got your styrofoam bowl. Plastic fork.
Sure.
You take a bite of that white sheet cake with like the white frosting. Hopefully you don't get too many flowers on it or a corner piece. Yeah. Because I'm not a frosting guy.
I'm not. I scrape that shit right off.
I like a little frosting, but I don't like all that ornamental bullshit on top. So you look over to your friend sitting across from you, and when you say, this cake is moist, what do? You always take the fork and point to the cake with the fork in and then shake your head. Yes.
This cake is moist. No, this cake right here.
Yeah.
This one that we're eating.
Oh, the cake in your hand that's on your face that you're eating. Why did you have to point to the cake? Is the point a seal of approval? Like, are you nodding with your hand in a yes? Like, this cake is moist.
Maybe so. I never thought of that, because people do that kind of shit all the time.
Now, it still sounds a little gross.
But you're talking about a food product, but when, like, moist pussy or I don't know.
No, listen.
Moist denim.
I was doing a little sexting today, and my underwear got moist. Does that sound disgusting or
Yeah,
what?
if a dude says that, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
just
came in your pants.
fucking carrying around a cold worm in your
But
underwear.
okay, did you ever do like phone sex when you were younger with girlfriends?
You know, I did a little.
Okay.
Just a little.
I thought about that.
I did phone foreplay.
Oh, okay. I thought about that. It was pre-cell phone. I'm on my parents' landline at 11, 12 at night having phone sex with my girlfriend. At any time, my parents could have just picked up the phone.
Do you think they ever did?
I've thought about that several times. But because the shit we would say was dirty. Like, more that kind of shit. Like, oh, just thinking about you makes my pussy so moist. Like, I can imagine my mom picking up the phone at that moment going, Joshua Jack.
What would be more terrifying and obliterating than your sweet mother picking up the phone to call your grandmother, and you hear a young Joshua Montgomery go, just want to stuff a whole case of crawdads up your moist pussy. Like, what if?
Why would I stuff crawdads up a pussy? But I get what you're saying.
Why wouldn't you? I've thought about that too, because I've done a little dirty talking in the past. But yeah, I don't think my dad ever listened, but God, talk about the most embarrassing.
Dude, that would be like, we've talked about how our fathers have walked in on not you and I together, but separate stories of like being filleted by your girlfriend.
Yes.
And that was somewhat embarrassing. It would be far more embarrassing for a parent to pick up a phone in the middle of you having phone sex. Now, kids who don't know what landlines are, they were a phone that was in your house. A little kid, you can go through your house. There's probably still phone jacks on the wall, but
just covered in dust.
Every room pretty much had a phone in it, but they're all connected. So if you pick up a phone in one room, person can pick it up and listen to your phone call conversation.
Oh, I love that back in the day. Like, you have a cordless phone. You finally got your first cordless phone at your house.
Yeah.
But you could, if you had a friend over, you could call your other friend and do with the cordless phone. You come in the room with the other boy, and you could like have a little party line going.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Did you ever do actual three-way calls, though, where you can call 3 people at once?
Yeah, you used to have to press the hang-up button down twice, right?
Yeah.
And it would go beep, 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 boop, and then you could dial, and then you press it again twice quickly. That's some fucking Morse code shit.
It's kind of cool if you think about it.
It is cool, but think about the computers we carry around in our hands now. But back then, you had to manually tap so it would send a surge of power through the line to trick the phone company into letting you call someone else.
Now, wait a second. That is some hacker shit. Can you do 3-way calls on your cell phone? Is that possible? Can I call you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, there's a way. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, you can call somebody if you lift up your phone, like take it away from your ear. I forgot exactly what it's called, but yeah, you can add a person to the call.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's cool.
But does star 69 work on a cell phone?
See, I think that only worked because it was an analog platform.
That's what's crazy. You remember seeing those spy movies where they'd pick up a phone and hold a recorder to it and it would play the tones to dial the phone?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that you used to dial phones through tone?
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Man, my parents would get so mad at me. When I was younger, I'd take the phone off the receiver and I would make music with the different things.
Well, you play that classic Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's easy. It's like 9878999.
That reminds me of the 1-800-COLLECT commercials. The David Spade. Beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
1-800-COLLECT.
Wasn't Carrot Top a member of the
Carrot
Collect
Top
crew?
was, and then there was some old guy, woman. I can't recall who it was.
I can't tell the sex.
I couldn't. I didn't know if it was an old lady or an old man.
So yeah, moist is pretty disgusting.
In other words, I just wanted to get that out just because it just popped in my head, and I think it's interesting that you can. The older you get, not only do your physical taste change, i.e., cake and what have you, but your tastes for, I guess, grammar, would that be what it would be? Or
Vernacular?
Vernacular.
Let's call it that. That sounds cool.
That changes too,
What we should do is start on our boys podcast list of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We should start a list of words that are gross.
My wife.
So first of all, we have moist and panties.
Panties, yes. Hard T.
If you can think of one, email us boys@boyspodcast.com and we'll add it to the list. We'll consider adding it to the list. We'll review it. We'll spend some time with it. Might make the list, and we might read it on the air.
Yeah. Or when this comes up, I mean, there's a comment section on the if you found this on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Go in those comments. You can comment on the Instagram as well. Just start a conversation. Start a community with one another.
Great idea.
Over dirty words that aren't dirty. Dirty words that aren't dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pubis. It's the region right above your actual dick.
Is it the area?
The pubis area. It's a weird word. It's just...
I don't think that'd make the cut, though.
Rub my pubis. I want to rub my pubis all over.
Josh, get off the phone.
Huh? What? I was talking to Rob.
Which would only make it worse.
Right.
I want to lick your fucking butthole. I was talking to Josh. What? It's fine. It's what we do.
It was a joke.
So you have some big changes coming up in your life, man.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to see if you wanted to talk about that tonight.
We can talk about it.
I want to know, because I talked to you at work for now.
Yeah.
Kind of sad about it.
One of the changes.
But we haven't really got a chance to like sit here and bro down. So I thought, when isn't it a better time?
You want to bro down, throw down? When we're on mic? Might as well.
When we're on the mic.
Yeah.
This is kind of our dynamic at this point.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I like it. Well, it's what we used to do anyway in your truck, driving around, going to thrift stores or whatever. Do this kind of thing without microphones. So now we just do it this way. I have decided, after a lot of thought, that I am going to change. I don't even want to say career paths because I guess technically now this would be a career path. So moving jobs into a different area. So I will no longer be with where we work together.
Yeah, it's a interesting experience to say the least, because we do spend a lot of time together. We work in different departments, but we do
lunches.
Yeah. Come by and say hi, and you've taken that away from me. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank you.
But see, I give you Dylan. Now you have Dylan.
He's good. He's a good second place.
You can take that place.
So what are your thoughts on it, man? Like, what is it like to change career paths? Because I think I want to call it that. Change career paths.
It's super,
at 35 years old.
Yeah. It's super confusing. It's a little... I would be lying if I said it wasn't scary because I am 35.
How scary? 1 to 10. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. 1 being a little scary. So there's no not being scared here, okay? Just to put things in perspective. 1 being a little scared, and 10 being like, I can't sleep at night, mortified.
I'm going to say 5.
You're on a solid 5?
I'm on a solid 5. Only, and
have you lost any sleep?
But it teeters. It basically, it's like on a fader, and it fades between 1 and 5.
Okay.
Randomly. I haven't lost any sleep about it. It's just, if this was 10 years ago, I'd be like, fuck it, this is a great idea. But I'm 35 and I'm like, well, I was at this company for 5 years. I put in a lot of things into it. I've made friends. It's a good company. There's no room for me to move. So I needed to do something. That's the other part. Like, that's the double-edged sword of, or the I guess the scale of it is, yes, I am 35. So I need to do something that if I'm gonna jump ship, I'm gonna jump ship now. And I hate using the word jump ship because that sounds shitty. If I'm gonna do something to better myself, I need to do it now. Even if it's a lateral move. It'll give me more time to go to school, finish a degree, and that degree can, God knows what. I don't have to stay. That's the thing I've realized throughout my life of 50 some odd fucking jobs. You never have to stay with a company. Like, I think we talked about it before on the podcast, the woebegone days of, you get a plaque after like 40 years and you retire. That shit, it happens for some people in some industries, but I don't really think it happens for folks who choose the life that, you and I and a lot of our friends do. The more artistic lifestyle, or especially friends who run their own businesses. We got a lot of friends that do that. They won't really, unless they plan their own retirement. I never did that. So it's moving to a new thing. And it's weird because it's going to a thing we've talked about on the podcast before. It's like mall jobs. I'm going to a mall job, but I'm not
management.
Man, I'm going to be like, eventually be running a store. So it's not like I'm going to be like, I'm not leaving my job to be some piss-on seasonal sales associate. No offense to seasonal sales.
I like to call them Josh's underlings.
It's a young man's job.
Right.
But the hours will free me up enough time to go to school, finish my degree, And then from there, I can either use that degree within that company that I'll be working for, or I can go maybe back to Keeley and do that, or I can go wherever I want to. I want to be able to, I want to make my own future. I want to make my own path. And I feel like this is a way to do that.
Did you have any moments? Did you have a back and forth moment?
Oh, yeah.
Like you didn't just wake up one morning and was like, I'm going to do this. Like, was there back and forth? Like, I'm going to do it. Well, no, I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't. Yes, I should.
It has been all of that and everything in between since the Against Me show. Like
that's the night the seed was planted.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff was at the show and he talked to me. He's like, hey man, I mean, you hustle a lot. I'm like, I like selling gear. I mean, ultimately that's my end goal. Like I would love to, my dream job would be to just buy and sell gear. I fucking love doing that. It's my favorite. But he was like, yeah, he's like, you hustle. I'm like, yeah. It's like, you should come like run one of these stores. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So
you're doing it.
That's what I'm doing.
Hey man, you're doing it. You know?
I'd be remiss if I said it's not. It's weird. I feel weird. I've already done a shift and it felt weird being in a store working because I haven't done it. I haven't had a mall job. Shit. I mean, I guess Body Shop was my last mall job. That was 12 years ago.
It was a long time ago.
Maybe
but you're like a personable guy. Like I think that you will flourish if you're not at a desk. You know, I really think that.
Sure. I mean, I like interacting with people and talking with people. That's another thing too. I love the job that I have now. It just, it doesn't really give me a whole lot of room to like be me, I guess, you know, like I like goofing. I'm a big goofer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just, it's helping people out. Oh, what's cool is, you know, you always get that. I wanted to take screen grabs of it so bad, but whatever, intercompany, whatever. Had to do my first day packet. Even though it's management, you still have to go through all the rigmarole of like, of course. You get your like for introductory BS. It's like a sales thing. But their whole thing is, it's not about really selling people shit they don't need. It's more about like just being you, like being personal with people, like just being real. If they want to buy something, help them find something. It's not like we have to have X amount of items per sale. Like, no, it's fucking just sell them something, man.
UPT.
I fucking hate UPT.
Units per transaction.
Yeah.
What a bunch of shit.
Oh, the Hot Topic method.
Yes, and I worked there, you worked there many, many years ago. And I know this isn't the only company that does this. I've heard of this before. Yeah. I've heard of this term. But to push bullshit at the counter on somebody so you can sell one more item. I mean, if you're at the top, I guess it's not a bad idea, but it's kind of shitty when some kid comes into your store and you have to sell him like a sticker or a patch or a button or this or whatever. It's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. I always put myself in their shoes. I've told bosses that, like when I worked at Hot Topic, I was like, you know, this kid's like 15. He's got literally $10 in his pocket. He's buying a $7 whatever. I'm not going to take that kid's last $3 to buy this fucking sticker that he doesn't really want.
He's got to go down to Sbarro and get a classic New York slice.
He's going to get a slice. That's going to be $2. Then he has $1 maybe for a Coke, if he can.
Yeah. That poor kid might be drinking a clear cup of water.
He might. That's just how you got to think about it.
I don't drink clear cups of water.
No, you don't. Do that classic Robbie refill.
I did a good one today.
You did.
I took it to the next level.
Dude, you leveled up today on your refill.
Will this make me go to jail?
No, for taking... Okay, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If your cola dispenser is on the floor in the general public's area for them to get themselves...
That's free soda.
That's free fucking soda. Right. If you don't want me to take it, put that shit behind the counter and you give it to me.
I just want to make sure I'm not like incriminating myself. I can see it now. Local beverage thief rots in jail.
I don't know. I've never got the point of like, why am I like, it's working at a bar. We get people all the time like who are either DDs or they just don't drink and like, hey man, can I just get a Coke? Sure.
That's on the house.
I fill up
right?
a Coke. Yeah. Fill up a Coke, give it to them. They try to give me money. I'm like, dude, what?
At a bar, okay.
It's a fountain Coke. You know how much of those bags are cheap as shit? Yeah. Like, now, it doesn't matter.
At a bar, am I mistaken to say it's common for someone that comes in and drinks a Coke, especially if they're with a group of people?
Yeah.
That's on the house.
Yeah, always. Always.
Now, does a Red Bull fall in that category? Can I push my limit a little bit?
No, Red Bull's fucking expensive.
There ain't a lot of markup.
No, not at all.
All right.
Like I think we charge like $1.75 for a can of Red Bull, which is cheap.
That's actually cheaper than a gas station,
That's
isn't it?
how much it costs to get it.
Really?
Like per can, it's like $1.50, I think.
Okay.
But we do that because
So you're making a shiny quarter on each Red Bull
but
you
we
sell.
rarely sell Red Bull. We market that way because that's what we charge for like a Red Bull vodka. It's like a $5 for. We charge for a full can with the Red Bull, just to make up for the offset the cost.
Okay.
I mean, it's weird markup shit, but yeah. But no, I don't think you'll go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. Hey, what are you in for? I murdered a family of 3. What'd you do?
I stole a Mr. Pibb.
Fuck, man. From where?
Bend over. You're getting a hard fucking.
Hey, this piece of shit stole a Mr. Pibb.
He got his throat slit in jail for stealing Sprite. Terrible.
This motherfucker said he was getting the water. Guess what he did? Got a fucking Diet Coke.
No, he got a Sprite. You know what? I saw the bubbles in that motherfucker. You're going down. So you're about to leave work. This is your last week. So we've been making the rounds. We've been going to our classic lunch spots.
We got 2 more to go.
2 more. It better be good. We're going to do Indian on Thursday, right?
I'm saying Zarate's tomorrow.
Ooh.
Is that
Indian
too much?
on Thursday? No, I'm down,
Yeah,
dude.
Zarate's tomorrow and then Indian on Thursday.
Which I love. Anytime. So we text each other pretty much every day around 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And it usually is like one of us says the other, fucking hungry.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Always like 10:30.
Starving.
If it's not by 10:30, yeah.
So, but on Thursdays, we go eat this delicious Indian buffet.
It's the best.
In Edmond. Mount Everest.
Mount Everest.
Delicious place. Hole in the wall, strip mall type joint. Great buffet. Price is right. The flavor. Mwah,
It's
out of
$11.
this world.
$11 all I can eat. And the food is I've been to several Indian buffets. This one is by far the best.
A decent menu.
Yeah.
But on those Thursdays, we send each other a little bonus text.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of my favorite things about modern technology.
The GIF?
Texting a GIF.
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
I love texting GIFs.
Before the update, my phone updated, my friends were sending GIFs to me, like in group chats or whatever. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing that? I'd have to go to the Giphy website, copy and paste it, and then go back to the text message and drop it in. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that. And then as soon as it became available in the actual text, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll send these shits all day. So that's all I do now. Like, I'll start sending Diana, like, GIFs, like, it's a bunch of them. And she'll, like, text back, she's like, I love that you send me GIFs. I'm like, that's cool.
So on Thursdays, we send, if you just type in, you go to the search function, and you just type in these 2 magic words, Indian man. Is that what you search for?
I just search Indian.
All right.
And I know that's, I don't know.
It's funny because they're funny gifts. It's not like they're racist or like hateful.
My favorite one is I think it's a dude who's on like Family Feud or something.
Yeah.
And he does the little thing.
Yeah. He's like your classic, like, you know those like older Indian men, Middle Eastern men, and they're very clean. Like their hair's cut just right. They have a mustache. Yeah. They have a gold watch, a nice polo shirt tucked into some pants. You know, just an all-American Indian man.
Yeah, he probably works in computers, or maybe he's like a doctor. He's
a perfect doctor.
He's got a good job.
So yeah, it's this guy, and he's on a game show, but he must have just won some money or something because he's like rocking back and forth. What do you call this?
The wild and crazy guy dance?
It's like, what is this? Like you make 2 pointer fingers and then you kind of alternate, like sticking them up in the air, and then you kind of like rock back and forth, almost like you're shooting 2 6-shooters.
We are 2 wild and crazy guys.
He's doing that.
Yeah.
And that's a classic. There's a few others, but they're funny. They're not hateful.
No, I keep wanting to find. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it because it's gonna sound shitty.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna do our food wrap up.
It's gonna be the last one, dude. I'm not gonna lie. That final Indian buffet is gonna be a sad one.
It's gonna be a bittersweet.
It'll be Bittersweet Symphony. But maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll come visit.
Yeah, right. That's what they all say.
I'll come visit. Billy Madison style. Stay here as long as you can.
That fat kid's cheeks are just flapping.
Yeah, you gotta cherish it.
So man,
you had something going on this past weekend.
Dude, yes, and I'm so glad you brought it up. Thank you so much, because I have a lot to talk about, and I'll try to get it in this last few minutes of the show here.
A few minutes?
Not a few, more than a few.
Let's take it go. Let's take a go. Yeah.
So, okay. My dad and I went hunting.
Is this where the crawdads up the ass come in?
Maybe so. It's that country Rob sneaking in.
Oh.
So my dad and I, our original plan was to go fishing a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And so I have some family and family friends down in Toca, Oklahoma, which is outside of Ada.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a southeastern Oklahoma, a little more south than east.
I like how you prefaced this small town with referencing another small town.
Oh yeah, like where the fuck's Ada?
It's just like a horseshoes clap away from Ada. What?
It's like southeast Oklahoma. Again, a little more south than east, but kind of in that quadrant down there.
That area. I believe that's the Choctaw County down there.
Maybe it's closer to the Texas border than Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So a couple weeks ago, Anthem Brewing, burps.com. What? Back to the story. So my dad and I were supposed to go fishing a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. And we talk about it every year. Like every late summer rolls around going into fall. And that's when the fish are biting, according to my dad in the Farmer's Almanac.
That's fish are biting.
So every year for the last several years, hey, we should go fishing. We should go fishing. You know how your young man's life gets in the way, or so it seems. There's always.
I want to pause just for 1 second. Who's testing to see if these fish are biting? I've heard that a lot too when I was growing up. After the fish are biting, how the fuck do you know? Is there someone out there that's throwing shit in the water, making sure they bite?
It's that country knowledge.
It is, and it is. It's ingrained.
It really is.
It is. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's fine. So that weekend rolled up, and my dad's good friend's wife passed away like 2 days before we were supposed to leave, and he had to go to the funeral, as a good friend does.
Sure.
And man, it was funny because over the years, like I'll take ownership. Like I've always been the fuck up. I've always been like, no, Dad, I can't go. Or like, oh, my band's playing. Or, oh, I'm seeing this girl. Or, oh, I got to do this. Got to do that.
Cats in the cradle, man.
Yeah, dude. Seriously. So this year we're going.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. Like I haven't been to a Toca in over 20 years.
Jeez.
Dude, I haven't been since I was 14. And think about yourself at 14.
Dude, you're a kid.
I was a dumb
You were
kid.
a dumb kid. Like a kid. Like
I couldn't
real
even
kid.
drive.
No.
I just got pubes. Like I am a boy figuring out the world. And I was a shithead. Like I wasn't a bad kid.
So have you seen the family in Toca since then?
I've seen some of those people, but only at like family funerals or a wedding, or like once every 5 years or so.
I was just wondering if you'd get one of those like, oh my God, Robbie Ray.
Oh man, they might as well carried me in on somebody's shoulders.
Right? Like
it was like the fucking prodigal son came back, No, it was really great. So, that weekend my dad had to cancel. And over all these years, he's always like, I tell you, I ask you every year to go, and always something, give me that little that dad hard time. So this year we're going, man. I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm doing it. And that weekend came up, and he had to cancel on me. And man, like, I love my father dearly. He's a solid man. He's a stoic man, good guy. I could tell he was upset that he had to cancel. Like he almost sounded shook, like a little shaken, And he said, oh, I'm so sorry, Rob. He's like, I hate to do this, but I have to go to this. And I said, and like, of course, my reaction was like, Dad, I totally understand. Like, no worries whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so we rescheduled to go 2 weeks later. And we go down there. And so, I get up on Friday morning. So we leave Friday, come back Sunday. I get up early Friday morning. I had my bags packed Thursday night. I was excited. Like I was so excited. Didn't know what to expect because I haven't been down there in over 20 years. A lot has changed in the world since then.
Yeah.
So I get up pretty early, go out to my dad's house. We hop in his truck and we make the drive. And man, we had the father-son moment in that pickup that every boy could dream of.
Really?
Because it was nothing. It was just a man and his son listening to some music and just kind of enjoying ourselves. We didn't have a deep conversation. We didn't need to. Yeah. It was beautiful in its simplicity. And that's when I knew I was going to have the start of a really good weekend. So we get there. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes away.
Did you listen to terrestrial radio?
No, we listened to some CDs.
Okay.
My dad has the CD book next to him in the truck.
Did you do the click?
Oh, yeah. Through? And I clapped him hard. That nostalgic clap. It was all coming back to me.
Now, what I want to know, and I'm not trying to derail your conversation because I'm trying to put myself. I want to be with you in this truck.
Absolutely. Let me slide over.
What's your dad got in that book?
Well, let's see.
Does he have like multiple things from multiple artists, or is it the classic? My dad's got a bunch of these just greatest hits.
There's some greatest hits in there.
My dad's CD book is just greatest hits.
There, dads and greatest hits. There's definitely a connection there. He had some greatest hits, which included Hank Williams Jr., Johnny Cash, Elton John.
Weird.
Yeah, that's kind of a curveball.
Right.
But there were definitely some greatest hits in there. I believe he was listening to John Anderson when I got in there. It was like his new record that was on like, I don't know, Washed Up Records or something.
Is this when you showed him Wheeler Walker on the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we got out of cell phone range.
Okay.
And so we're listening to some music, having some laughs, just talking, just shooting the shit.
Wait, did you introduce your dad to Spotify on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he knows what Spotify is, but he's never seen it. And like we navigated, and he thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That right there is badass, I believe.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Dad, you can pull up anything you fucking want.
I did this classic move. Name somebody. Look,
Go name it.
Name anybody. Look, it's going to be on here. But yeah, a lot has changed in my life lately. I thought my dad and I haven't had a, I mean, we've had a talk about, divorce and moving on and this and that. We've talked about it, but I thought that this was going to be the moment where we like really talk about all these things. And none of that happened, which was great.
Yeah.
So we're on our way down there. We pull up, and so the people who own the home that we stayed at, in the middle of fucking nowhere, like dirt road, no internet, no cell phone service, like hundreds of acres.
Stars. You can see the stars.
No noise.
Yeah.
No cars.
Oh, I love that.
Nothing.
I fucking love that.
Bill and Mary. Bill is 77 years old.
Everyone knows a Bill and Mary.
Dude, every country person knows a Bill and Mary, or might be a Bill and Mary.
That's a good name. That's a good name for a couple, too. Bill and Mary.
A couple that's been married for like 50-something years.
I love that.
Sweet old couple. Bill and Mary come out, and we're just really happy to see me. I shook Bill's hand, gave Mary a hug. Oh, you look just the same, Robbie. Oh, you guys look great. Blah, blah, blah. This is beautiful. They had built a house out there, a newer house. Well, at this point, it could have been a 20-year-old house, and I would have never seen it, but a different place from my childhood. And then Bill's son, Billy, is my dad's friend. That's my dad's friend that I knew growing up. And Billy looked pretty much the same, even though I hadn't seen him in God knows how long.
Now, when you were younger, did you reference this Billy as Uncle Billy?
I never called him Uncle Billy, but I think maybe my dad referred to him as like Uncle Billy.
Yeah.
I've always said that, like, he's not my uncle, but I want to say somebody in my family has referred to him as Uncle Billy.
I've got a couple of those uncles that aren't really uncles. Like, it's dad buddies or mom's, like, brothers buddies or whatever.
Yeah, it's a pedophile's dream. Come sit on your Uncle Billy's lap.
How are we related? We're not. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, call me uncle. So Billy comes out, and Billy is the most country guy I've ever met in my life.
Is he like a real deal Larry the Cable Guy kind of dude? Okay.
Camo, head to toe. Like the classic black goatee with the gray on the sides. Baseball cap like with a duck on it or something. And he talks like this. Hell, go in there and close the window. He says winder. He says words like winder.
Yeah.
And Billy has hands like he was sitting there in the
catcher's mitts.
Like, yes, exactly. He was sitting in the chair, which that's another thing I learned this weekend. Country people do a lot of sitting outside.
Oh, they do.
Whether it's a porch, a truck bed, gathered around the campfire, gathered around the smoker.
Why be inside?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful evening.
Gathered in front of a garage door, Billy was sitting in his chair, and he was doing the ziggy, is what I call it. Like
crossed
fingers crossed on the belly. It looked like a pack of fucking sausages. He shook my hand, and I felt like Belle meeting the Beast. Like I had the daintiest little hand in this guy's fucking calloused catcher's mitt.
This working man's hand. It's the years and years of hard labor.
Dude, those hands have bled. Like that kind of hand.
From work.
Yeah.
And they've also probably hit a woman or two.
Maybe.
I'm joking.
Maybe. I don't know. And yeah, it was, so we got there, and I'll try to make this, somewhat short, but got there, went fishing as soon as we got there. After we said our hellos, and everything. And boy, those fish were biting. I caught 9. I caught the most fish.
You caught 9 fish?
I caught 9 fish.
I saw a picture of one of those fish.
Now, that was a joke. I need to take a moment to clarify. That was a crappie.
Yeah.
Crappie, first of all, they're small fish.
Yeah, they are.
I would know. I'm Country Rob.
I would know. I caught 9 fish.
I caught 7 crappie and 2 bass. Now, I'll show you the proof. I have other fish that I caught. I caught a really nice bass.
Now, did you guys catch and release? Or did you? Okay.
We caught and release. Went fishing as soon as we got there. My dad, on the way in, filled up his Yeti. He bought a fucking Yeti.
Whoa, that's city boy.
He got this Yeti for $40.
What?
In a garage sale.
What?
Yeah, somebody didn't know what they had.
Yeah, those are like $500 fucking coolers.
Yeah, and it's one of those really fucking long ones,
Damn.
too. So he stopped and got ice once we got to a Toca. And my dad, there was beer in the ice chest, probably like an 18-pack of Natty Light.
Sure.
My dad comes out of the
Daddy
convenience
Natties.
store with 2 30-packs.
Gotta have beer. If you're gonna go fishing, you gotta have beer.
That's the name of my second album.
If you're gonna go fishing, you gotta have beer.
Ding. 30, 60, 78 beers.
That's
78 beers.
Between how many people?
The only people that drank those beers were me and him.
Did you drink all of them?
Bill doesn't drink. Billy doesn't drink. And
Now, hold on. You're telling me Billy doesn't drink?
Billy used to drink a lot.
Oh, something happened. Something happened.
Something happened. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
A lot of things happened.
Okay.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a past.
Had a
though.
run in. Had a run in or two.
Had a few. Oh boy. That would get this show banned from the internet.
All right.
Anyways, Billy's a
So
good
you
guy.
and your pop took down 78 beers?
I didn't drink that many beers. But let me just put it this way. We didn't bring any home. All right? So we go fishing. I'm cracking that Natty Light in the sun, fishing, catching fish, getting bites, pulling them off the hook, which really freaked me out at first.
Yeah.
Do you know the inside of a bass's lip is very coarse and it will rip your skin on your thumb?
Yeah.
Like it leaves these weird track marks on your thumb. I would know. Country Robbie catches a lot of fish. So anyway, we fish, have a good time, go back, fire up the smoker. What I noticed is people there, dude, they live life a little slower.
You do.
I had cell phone service, but I didn't have data. So there was no Instagram, no Facebook, none of that, which I try to limit myself on that shit anyways.
I bet that felt so fucking great, though.
Dude, here's my big takeaway, and I'll get to the rest of my story. I'm so tired of being plugged. I'm so incredibly tired of it. To be unplugged felt fucking amazing, dude. And I know that you and I recently off the air have talked about, just some existential stuff. We talked about it a little bit on the air. Dude, get your ass down there and have no choice but to be off your phone and to be in the moment and to eat good food and be around good people and drink a couple of beers.
Man, I love that. I love any chance I get to do that kind of thing. I'm into it. And that's one of the things that puts me on that sliding fader scale of 1 to 5 freaking out or being scared is that's being plugged in. I'm in the midst of this machine that I kind of don't really agree with, corporate capitalism, blah, 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 blah. But if it's going to better me, and that's such a capitalist way of thinking, if it's going to better me, then whatever. But there's a huge part of me that just wants to pack it all up, move down to a fucking small town somewhere.
It doesn't even have to be country. It could just be small town.
Small town or a country, and bartend at the one bar in town, rent a trailer or whatever, and just because you're right. People do live a little slower there, and they're happy. I would think they're happier there because they don't have the trappings of just shit day to day that we think means something, but it really means nothing. And not to get too existential, but grand scheme of things, end of it all, none of this shit matters. We are a blip on the map of existence as an entirety. So really just enjoy your life.
Yeah. And I did, man. I enjoyed the shit out of myself.
Yeah.
So we got done fishing.
Mhm.
We go back to the house.
Fired up that smoker.
And again, I spent like 0 time in the house other than when I went to bed,
Yeah.
which was nice. I thought we were going to like camp.
That'd be awesome.
And I wanted to camp. I
Mhm.
was wanting to sleep in a tent.
Did you pull a little Robbie? Like, Dad, can we throw a tent out?
No, I asked my dad. I said when I got to his house, I said, I was like, "Are we sleeping in a tent or are we sleeping in their house?" And he's like, "No, they have 2 guest rooms." And I was like, "Well, that's cool. You know, I like to sleep in a bed. That's great." But I was kind of looking forward to sleeping in a tent.
Yeah, like going outside.
And when I go back, not if I go back, when I go back,
Tent up.
dude, I don't care if it's fucking freezing. I'm gonna sleep in a tent.
Yeah.
So after fishing, went back, fired up the smoker, had a couple of beers. It was about 6 o'clock, full of food, full of meat,
Mhm.
full of delicious country meat. And Bill leans over and Bill is also very country, but he's like the old farmer guy country. Bill talks like he stepped out of Sling Blade. He's the kind of guy, and I mean this with the
Mashed
utmost
taters,
respect.
that kind of guy.
But he starts talking like this, and then by the end of it, you can barely understand him.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and he leans over, and he's like, "Hey, boy, you want to go hunting?" And maybe it was the natties talking. Maybe it was that country air. But I turned to him and I said, "Fuck yeah, I want to go hunting." That was my exact words.
Fuck yeah, I want to go hunting.
Which is another point.
Not hunting. I want to go hunting.
Yeah. Fuck yes, I want to go hunting. I brought my new panties. They're moist. When I got back from hunting and fishing, I was talking to Kate last night, and not last night, but the night I got back, and she was like, "You're cursing a lot." Because every other word out of those guys' mouths,
Fucking,
damn, hell, cursing like hardcore. And these are quote unquote good Christian guys.
Oh yeah, they love the Lord.
But man, every other word was fucking, but it's like fucking.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been cursing a lot. But you know what? Fuck it. So I get my gun.
That's Country Rob.
He came out this weekend. I get my gun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 30-30 with a beautiful scope on top, loaned to me by Bill. And he takes me around on this acreage, hundreds of acres that they have. They have like 9 deer stands. Now, when I say deer stand, it might evoke the wire-framed lean-to that you sit up in a basket in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
These were like huge dog houses that were up on stilts. Like you could stretch out in one, like you could lay down in one. And they were completely covered with a roof with like flipped down whole like shutters around the entire thing where you could look all the way around.
So he had like put some money into that.
Well, these were all homemade.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they build them out of like scrap lumber and, you know, scrap shingles and stuff like that. And, but they were really nice, really comfortable. And in every one, there was like a swivel chair. So you could sit in that thing and like turn 360 degrees and look out all around you. And they had deer feeders set up and salt licks and everything and like planted like special grass and whatnot to attract the deer.
Wow.
So man, there's just something so incredibly beautiful about sitting out there. Can't hear a single car.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear a stick drop like 50 yards away because it was so dead and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, watching the sun go down out in the middle of nowhere where there's no light pollution, and then seeing these animals start to come out as the sun goes down. Like first I saw a couple squirrels over here, you know, and then I saw a young male deer come out of the woods. And this deer walked up so close to me, I could have spit out of this thing and hit it. And just watching it eat. And I pulled my gun up, and I wasn't going to shoot this one. It just had little nubs for horns, little fuzzy nubs. And I had my safety on my gun still, but I wanted to look at it as close as I could. So I was looking through the scope, just like watching this deer eat and admiring it, seeing the beauty in this like young male deer.
Yeah.
And thinking, if I'm patient, another one will come. And another one did come. And this time it was a 6-point buck. And I thought about shooting it because I could have. But I didn't. I was like, maybe if I'm patient, another one will come out because they travel in little packs, little herds. And another one didn't come. But I was like, you know what? It's getting pretty dark.
Right.
I'm gonna let this motherfucker live one more day.
Yeah.
If I see it tomorrow, it's fucking dead.
Yeah.
So I go to bed, or I don't go to bed. We go back, eat some more, drink some more, go to sleep. I get a knock on the bedroom door at 4:30 in the morning. Hey, boy, you want to go hunting? If you know me, you know I like my sleep.
Yeah.
I sprung out of bed. I was so excited. And I threw my clothes on. Same clothes I was wearing the night before.
Of course.
Smelled like a fucking campfire.
Of course.
And I go out there, get the gun. We hop on the mule, which is like the golf cart on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Takes me through this trail, puts me back up in that deer stand. Dude, it was pitch black. He dropped me off, and he had his headlights on, Dropped me off, drove off to the next deer stand so he could sit. This is Bill. And, dude, it was pitch fucking black out.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see like 5 feet in front of me because I was in the woods. It was dark.
Yeah.
Dude, again, to see the sun come up.
Oh, boy.
And hear the dew falling from the trees and hear the clattering of squirrels eating acorns. I'm not a religious man, but it was a spiritual experience.
I bet. It sounds awesome.
It was amazing. And again, just to be unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
No distraction.
Now, is this something that you could see yourself doing full time, or is it just something like a getaway kind of a thing?
Yeah, it definitely a getaway thing. I mean, I do like the conveniences of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't live out there. It's just too far. They don't have the internet. I need the internet. I do. I'm spoiled, I guess.
But is that going to be like your go-to? Like, if you want to unplug and get out, I'm gonna go out and sit in the deer stand and not shoot anything.
It definitely will not be another 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go back. In fact, I think I might go back here in a few weeks.
Really?
And I think that this might be us. I'm not making any major life changes, but I could see myself getting into this. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's so therapeutic. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to bring that back. I kept thinking about that while I was there. Mm-hmm. I was like, I want to talk about this on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And, I got bit by the bug. Mm-hmm. And I felt what it...
Probably bit by a couple of actual bugs as well.
Ticks.
In the woods.
I want to go back so bad, man.
I think everyone should. I was listening to a podcast today, and they're talking about, like, in the 80s, there were yuppies who just wanted material possessions. The young kids at that time wanted just material things. And the new hipsters are the new yuppies. They're not into material shit, but they're into experiences and going and doing things that most people can't really afford. Like, they go on trips all the time or blah, blah, blah. But you can do that just by getting in your car and driving 3 hours to a Toca or another fucking city. Our state has how many fucking different landscapes? There's a desert. There's a technical, quote, rainforest kind of a thing. There's different landscapes you can go visit. So at any time, any weekend, you can take 2 days and go do something really cool and get yourself out of your social media bubble and kind of find yourself.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed was money didn't matter as much to these people because, it's way cheaper to live out there. B, like, most people have family, they eat together, they hunt, they fish, they farm. I mean, they had a nice garden. They have cows.
Oh yeah, the vegetables you're gonna eat at a place like that in a house like that, none of that shit was bought at the store. The tomatoes were grown in the garden, peppers were grown, everything was grown in the garden.
Dude, so I had one dish out of all the food I ate, which I ate great for those 3 days, 2 days, 3 nights, 3 days, 2 nights, whatever. The last morning.
Third album?
3 days, 2 nights, whatever. So Mary cooked us breakfast every morning. Dude, it was so dope.
Bacon.
To wake up super early and have a spread, a classic country breakfast out in front of you.
Was it where there was like a plate of just stacked with bacon and then a stacked with biscuits or whatever?
Yep. Big bowl of gravy. The third
family style.
The third morning, or second morning, I guess, last morning, she made bacon, which was this delicious thick cut bacon that was not bought at a store. It was so good, so floppy and juicy, and not that brittle ass beef jerky shit that I hate. Homemade country biscuits, fluffy, buttery, warm and delicious. Then a little something that I've never had before.
What's this?
Chocolate gravy?
Are you fucking kidding me? You never had chocolate gravy? Chocolate gravy is the shit. Can I tell a little story, a little side? Okay,
please.
So I fucking loved, my mom made chocolate gravy growing up. My mom had a recipe book that was a Jester family recipe. And one of the recipes was homemade chocolate gravy. It's a lot like your cream gravy, but it's with fucking chocolate. So do you remember the Iowa test?
ITBS?
Yeah, the Iowa test.
Basic skills.
Yeah, basic skills. It's a big test. You got to get a lot of sleep. Make sure you have a nice breakfast.
Something on your stomach.
You know what my mom would make me every fucking time there's an Iowa test? Biscuits and chocolate gravy, which is great. Fills you up. But like 2 hours later, you crash from that sugar high. Chocolate gravy is the shit. I've not had it since I was a kid, but goddamn, I'd love to have some.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the family cookbook because we talked about that this weekend.
Family cookbook?
That's a country thing.
Oh, yeah.
The family cookbook, it's in the little spiral bound notebook thing with the clear plastic cover. But Mary's chocolate gravy recipe is in this book. And she gave me one of the books.
Yeah.
And I am definitely making that shit because between the chocolate gravy, the buttery, flaky, delicious country biscuits, and the salty bacon, dude, I ate 2 big plate. I ate a country style portion of this shit. I ate so much of it. It was delicious. So good. Then I got back out there on the deer stand, had my gun. This time I thought, you know what? I'm going to change it up a bit. So I put in my headphones. I was like, I'm going to trip out, to some music. And I put on Midlake's album, The Trials of Van Occupanther, which is a very, a lot of their lyrics have to do with like settlers and foragers and things like that. And dude, I listened to this album and not just the hits, like the deep cuts, like the whole album, which I love start to finish. As the sun was coming up, and dude, that same baby deer came out to eat again. And I was almost like, dude, this might sound weird, but like I was almost in like a state of tears. It was so beautiful. Like seeing the sun rays come through the trees. It was beautiful. It looked like that scene from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where Kevin Costner, and I forget the lady's name.
Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
Yeah. They were like walking through the woods.
Oh, yeah.
And like you can see the rays of sun coming through the trees. They were walking through the Sherwood Forest,
actually.
Yeah,
the Sherwood Forest, yeah. Is that where you were? Did it kind of feel Sherwood Foresty out there?
It felt equal parts Sherwood Forest and like Norwegian black metal forest because it was very dense and very like blue.
Oh.
It was weird, yeah. Nice. My eyes weren't used to this.
So did you shoot anything?
I didn't. I was hoping that 6-point buck would come back because I was going to shoot it. Because they check the deer in, they clean the deer right there, like at their house. Like they hang it up, gut it, skin it. Oh, I know you're vegetarian.
Have you been a part of that process?
Oh, yeah. I saw that when I was a kid.
It's weird.
Like, dude, I've seen my dad cut a deer from its asshole to its neck, open it up like a fucking closet,
and let it all drop out.
The guts just spill out, and then in the middle of the winter, they steam. It's a fucking trip as a kid to see that for the first time. But to me, it's a little more noble than a Brahms hamburger.
Yeah. Hey, you know where your food comes from. I had to kill Bambi's fucking dad so you can eat today.
But you respect it, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be the know-all of hunting, but it seems like you would respect it.
I respect the fuck out of that. I mean, if you have the gumption, if you're going to do all that, then you better fucking respect the animal and eat that meat. And that's kind of what it's all about. It's about respecting the animal. They're not going out there and just mowing down a ton of fucking animals. It's like, no, this one, you respect it. When you do your little meal, you pray or whatever you do. Big ups, thanks to this animal giving us food.
You know what I like to say?
What?
Good food, good meat, good God, let's eat. That got me slapped at the dinner table as a boy.
Good God, let's eat.
So, anyways, yeah, long story short, long story long.
That sounds like you had like a really cathartic trip, man.
Dude, I hate to sound cliche, but it truly did feel like I kind of hit the reset button.
Yeah, that's good.
It was amazing. And the last thing I want to say, being away from Facebook, Instagram, the internet in general, it made, and being around these people who are great people, albeit very different from me.
But it's kind of fun.
It is. I mean, it's travel.
Yeah.
You know?
It's taking yourself out of different social circles and putting yourself in an entirely new one.
Like a different culture.
Yeah.
it made me realize, even a little bit, again, I'm not trying to say that this is like I went on a fucking ayahuasca trip, in Africa or something like that.
Right.
But
No,
whatever.
you went on a country trip in a Toca.
It made me realize, or start to realize, the bubble that I live in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, a lot of people that are a lot different than me, they say, liberal bubble or whatever. But man, there is some truth to that.
No, well, I think it's even, that's the bigger bubble. When we realize we're all living in bubbles within bubbles, like you have your own personal bubble. Monday through Friday, you go to work. That's your bubble.
Right. It doesn't have to be a political bubble. It could be your personal bubble. Like if you were to put a big bubble over yourself, a big old bubble.
That's your personal space bubble. And then outside of that is what you do. And then here's your range. It's like a Google map. The range of what you do, that's about as far as I'll go. Don't really want to go talk to or hang out with anybody because that's blah, 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 blah. Then you have your whole political bubble. It's just...
The bubble theory.
If you just go get in your car, drive southeast or wherever to where there's not a lot of shit, get out of your car and just pop that fucking bubble. For a few days. Who knows? You just might like it.
Dude, I bursted the bubble, and I'm going to burst it again. It was incredible.
Keep bursting bubbles.
You bursted your bubble, though. You bursted your job bubble.
I bursted my job bubble, but I'm going to create another one. That's the thing. Like I'm bursting this one. I know I'm going to do another one, but I've put this a thing I've never fucking done before. I've never gone into something with like I've always thought like 5-year, 10-year plans. Like that's just stupid. Like no, I'm having one. So I've detonated the timer for the bomb. It's 5 years. That's when it goes, and it goes to something else.
Right.
If it hasn't, maybe something happened before that. But I got to get out of that building before it blows.
I feel you, man. Well, I really do. Like, as much as I'll miss you at work, I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
It will be interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to affect our show. Not that I think it's going to affect it negatively, but like since we won't be seeing each other every day, we're probably going to have just as much to talk about, if not more.
Oh yeah.
But we're going to have new perspectives. You're going to have a new bubble.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my altered bubble, and we'll put our bubbles together.
I fucking love altered bubble.
Oh, Josh, I want to put my bubble next to your bubble. Oh. Hey, get off the phone, Rob. I'm trying to call Bill and Mary. That's all they got. No internet.
Just dial up.
Not even that.
They ain't got dial up?
No.
Oh, figured they would still be on the one of 200 people in America who are still doing AOL.
No. Say goodbye to that too.
Damn. Well.
Speaking of goodbyes, I think it's time we made ours.
Bye.